evening, everyone.
Evening.
Good evening, madam.
Today we are going to learn about indices. Before we start, allow me to confirm whether you are in or all in my class. Joseph,
Present.
Corings, Ochieng. Are you in? Diana Nyanchama. Diana. Okay. Sarah,
Present, madam.
Amos.
Present.
That's good. Can someone help us to define what is an index? Before I share my screen. Is anyone help us to define what is an index? Joseph. Joseph Pila.
Yes, madam. I think an index is I can define it as an exponent, a power.
Okay, that's good. Another one, can you define what is an index? Another option for an index, Joseph has said that an index is also called an exponential. Amos. Sarah.
I can use an example.
Sorry.
I'm saying I can use an example, maybe 2 raised to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that raised number 3 is the power, is an index number.
Okay, that's very good, Sarah. So in today's class, we like to achieve the following objective, and as I said, our topic of today is index, and we are supposed to achieve the following lesson objects. Number 1 is to define an index. 2 is to state at least 3 rows of indices. 3 is to apply the rows of indices to simplify numerical expressions. First, allow me to define what is an index. And an index is also called an exponent. And an index it shows how many times a number is multiplied by itself. Example, 2 raised by 3 is also written as 2 times 3 2 times 2 times 2. 3 times. What is our index in our example? Index is 3. Thanks. Corings, let me admit Amos. Just a minute. So next, we would like to state rows of indices. As you know, we have several rows of indices. Can someone define the first row of index? Joseph.
Yes, madam. I can see the first law is multiplication of powers, where it states that when we have a raised to power m times a raised to power n, then we add the index. So that is a raised to power m plus n.
So that's correct. So example, as Joseph said, we have product rule, and our A is the base, M is our index. In our second part, A is our base, N is our index. Since we have the same base, we add the index. And our example states that 2 raised by 2 times 2 raised by 3 is equals to, since our bases are same, we had our index, and our index is 2 and 3, so we add 2 plus 3. Our answer is 2 raised by 5, which is 32. Is that correct, class? So
Yes, madam.
let's go to our second row. Can someone read for us the second row of index?
Division
So,
of law.
division of powers. The rule says that a raised to power m divided by a raised to power n is equals to a raised to power m minus n. We have example given there.
So can you read for us that example written there?
5 to power 6 divided by 5 raised to power 2 is the same as 5 raised to power 6 minus 2, which is the same as 5 raised to power 4, which is the same as 625 when you work it out.
That's good. Amos, let's go to another rule of index. Can someone read for us the third row of index?
The third law is power of a power. So the rule states that when you have a base raised to an index and you multiply by an index outside, it is the same as you take that base, you raise it to the two indexes multiplied in one bracket. For example, you are given 3 raised to 2 and outside to power 3. So we take the base, which is 3, we raise it to 2 multiplied by 3, then we get 3 raised to power 6, which gives us 729.
So that's very correct. Since we have discussed about the first objective and the second objective, let's go to our last objective, which states applying the laws of indices. Can someone read for us that example? Sarah?
Apply the laws. Simplify 2 raised to power 2 times 2 raised to power 3 divided by 2 raised to power 1. We have step 1, 2 raised to, in brackets, 2 plus 3, which is equals to 2 raised to 5. Step 2, step 2 is 2 raised to 5 minus 1, which is 2 raised to power 4. Our answer is 16. I can't understand. Can you please explain?
So in our example, the question says simplify 2 raised by 2 times 2 raised by 3 divided by 2 raised by 1. So in this example, they have applied 2 rows of indices. The first one, the first row of indices they have applied in that example is class. Can someone identify that row of index they have applied there? The first part, 2 raised by 2 times 2 raised by 3.
Multiplication law of indices.
Multiplication row of indices, that's very correct, Diana. So what did we say about when multiplying rows of indices? What are we supposed to do in our index?
You add the
You want the
indexes
powers.
and the bases are
So
the
that's
same.
where we have added 2 plus 3. Our first step in it says that 2 raised by 2 plus 3 is equals to 2 raised by 5. And in our second part is 2 raised by. So since we have got our answer in our first part, 2 raised by 2 times 2 raised by 3, our answer is 2 raised by 5 divided by 2 raised by 1. They have applied division rule. Now we have said that when dividing in the indices, we subtract the powers. That's where in step 2 we have subtracted 5 minus 1, which is equal to 2 raised by 4. Is that correct, Stella?
Yes.
Another example. Can someone read for us that example? Amos,
Yes, madam.
can you read for us that example? So let me read.
2.
Sorry.
Yes, kindly.
Simplify 4 raised by 2 into brackets 3 divided by 4 raised by 4. In our first step is we identify the rows of indices they have applied in our problem. Can someone help us to identify the row of indices they have applied there? The first part.
In step 1, they have applied the multiplication rule, whereby you multiply the powers 2 by 3, we get 4 raised to power 6.
That's correct. In step 2, since our answer in first part is 4 raised by 6 divided by 4 raised by 4. Now they have applied division rule. We subtract the powers and we get our answer 4 raised by 2, which is equal to 16. So exercise, kindly do that exercise in our next class. I will take that. So can someone help us to tell us what we have learned today in today's class? Summary, kindly.
Yes, for today I've learned that an index is an exponent whereby you have a base, then you raise by a number, and that number that you raise to is what is an index.
That's very correct. Another one.
Yes. Today we have learned. I have also learned the law that says that if a number has the same base,
That's very correct.
and okay.
That's correct. In today's class, we have learned what the indices are, how to write them, basic rows of indices. So an index shows repeated multiplication. When multiplying, we add indices. When dividing, we subtract indices. Power, we multiply indices. So make sure you practice because indices appear a lot in mathematics and engineering. Thanks for listening. Let's meet in another class. Thank you.